My idea for you, I'm not your business manager.
Yeah.
I think your divorce should be pay-per-view. And it feel like we all know it's coming, right? I wish you both well.
No. He's got it. Go.
Tom.
What? Just
No, but that thing of like, I genuinely think
he's
it could
so
be great.
smart. Let him talk.
Ugh, I have like it's so weird. Okay, I'll just tell you guys what's going on with me. So we had to cut our trip a little short, because I had a mammogram a little while ago, and there was an abnormality, and I have very, very early stage breast cancer. Womp womp.
That first clip is Jimmy Carr on Tom Segura's own podcast, telling Tom his divorce should be pay-per-view. And Tom's response to that? Not, whoa, easy. Not, come on, man. Tom says, he's so smart. Let him talk. Let him talk. Mate, now hold that in your head, because the second clip is his wife telling their audience she has breast cancer. Same show, same chair, same two people who built a media company out of a marriage. And here's the thing you need to understand before we go any further, because it is the entire video. Tom Segura had been doing the divorce bit for years. The second wife bit. The what would I do if she died bit. The pull up a supermodel bit. And every single time, the audience said the same thing. It's a bit. You don't get comedy. That's classic YMH. Right, well, they're divorced now. So let's go back through 6 years of receipts and figure out which parts were the bit. Spoiler, none of it.
And I'm telling you, I know it after cancer. I had my awakening and everything. I was like, my life is about to fucking change. Something is a brewing. This is a huge realignment.
Yeah.
And it is. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. I mean, these have probably been the darkest years. The last 3 years have been the darkest years of my life.
Yeah.
Randomly, I'm talking to the oncologist and the assistant, and she's like, how's your sister-in-law? And I was like, oh, she's great, because Jane was there for a lot of my cancer stuff, you know? And she's like, a lot of people get divorced after cancer. And I was like, what? Really? I'm like, that's crazy. Why? And at the time, I really was like, that sounds really... And I think because it really changes, it rearranges you in such a way,
Whoa.
I don't know.
That is f***ing nuts.
I know.
So that's how the world found out. Not from a joint statement, not from Tom, from Christina, sitting in their studio, with Duncan Trussell, crying about 8 seconds in and apologizing for it. Sorry, I didn't know if I was going to cry this soon. She's apologizing, on her own show, for being sad about her own divorce. Where's Tom? Not there, not in the building, hasn't said a word about it. Not a statement, not a story, not a sentence. TMZ broke the news, and Tom Segura, a man who will post a photograph of a wristwatch to 2 million people, went completely dark. His ex-wife had to sit in the chair they built together and explain the end of their marriage to their audience alone while he was off somewhere filming. And then, and this is the part that should genuinely wind you up, she defends him. Repeatedly. Tells the audience not to pick sides. Tells them it's amicable. Says it's not anyone's fault. We have tried to work it out for several years. Several years. Sit with that number for a second, because it changes everything you're about to watch. This wasn't a switch that flipped. This was Tom Segura going on his own podcast, week after week, for years, joking about his second wife, joking about her death, joking about replacing her, while he knew the marriage was dying. He wasn't doing a bit about a hypothetical. He was doing a bit about the plan.
This is just an unfortunate thing. But we're going to be okay. Tom and I are, just so everybody knows, we are amicable. This is not an ugly divorce. We're cool, dude. It's been 20 years, and we met in our 20s. We met as kids. So, people changes. It's just one of those things. And I just also want to say to people who are, because I haven't really looked at social media, but from what I've understood, some people are taking teams like Team Christina or Team Tom. Please don't do that. Well, look, I don't mean to think that I'm all peace and love. I wasn't at the beginning. I was very angry and very upset. And then, but as a child of divorce and as, I didn't want to be my mother who was like, your father is this and that. The father is a piece of shit. And I'm like, why? My kids are half of Tom.
Right.
So if I'm crapping on Tom, I'm on who half of they are.
That's right.
And if there's anybody, I know it's hard but it's worth it, because you're sparing your children the misery of your suffering.
Yeah.
Because my mother was so bad at shielding me from her animosity towards my father, and just destroyed me.
Yeah.
Listen, I did want to talk to you, Duncan. I mean, Duncan, you may have noticed that Tom and I have not been podcasting together for the last few months.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that.
And you may have seen some stories.
I thought it was bullshit. I thought it was misinformation.
Clearly. But I just wanted to let you know, and the other staff members here, that the rumors are true, that your daddy and I are divorcing.
All right, so it looks like the rumors about Tom Segura and Christina P. getting divorced were actually true. Because as of this morning, Christina finally confirmed it during an episode of her podcast with Duncan Trussell. And of course, without Tom Segura. I mean, this guy really has a talent for making himself look way worse than he probably needs to. Like, Tom still hasn't even mentioned this entire thing.
Girl.
You all right? How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, look, I just want to formally address it to the audience. Yes, Tom and I are divorcing, and it is extremely sad. It's sorry, I don't know if I was going to cry this soon. It is very sad. That being said, we have tried to work it out for several years for the sake of our children and our family, and we gave it all we could. But we just couldn't work things out. We are no longer a couple, but we make the children a priority. And, look, we had 20 amazing years together, and that's a really good run, I think, in a marriage. 20 years together, and we had a very successful marriage. We created this. We have comedy careers. We, most importantly, created a family. Cancer couldn't kill me.
No.
You think a dude's gonna fucking take me out?
No.
That's what's up.
Boom.
So there you go.
Wow.
It's out, and I feel free because it's been some time coming, and I hate not being transparent.
Can I plug my dates?
Right, so let's just take a minute on what we've actually got here. An oncologist assistant, a woman who does this for a living, who has watched hundreds of people go through this, casually mentions to Christina that a lot of people get divorced after cancer, just as a fact of the job, like telling someone the weather. And Christina at the time is genuinely shocked by it. What? Really? That's crazy. She had no idea. She's sitting in the oncology ward, getting told the statistic and thinking, that's mad, that's not us. We're the mommies. We built this thing together. 3 years later, she's on her own podcast announcing the divorce. Now, and I want to be careful here, because this is my read and not a documented fact. You look at that timeline, and it is very hard not to draw the obvious conclusion. She announces the diagnosis. Tom is publicly supportive. Everything looks stable. And then she recovers, the treatment finishes, she rings the bell, and within a couple of years it's over. My honest take, the clock was paused. Because even Tom Segura can't walk out on his wife while she's in chemotherapy. Not with an audience of millions watching. There's no version of that where he survives it. So he waited. That's the theory, and I'll own it as a theory. But it's not a wild one, because he told us. He told us on tape. Over and over again, for years. We'll get to it. And then look at what she does with the worst period of her life. These have probably been the darkest years. Cancer, then a marriage collapsing on top of it. In public, while she's the one who has to announce it. And her response is to go on the internet and ask people not to be cruel to him. Because of the kids. Because her own mother trashed her father in front of her, and it just destroyed me. So she's not doing that. She's absorbing it. She's taking the entire weight of this thing, so her two boys don't have to grow up hating their dad. That is genuine class. That's a grown adult. Meanwhile, the grown adult she was married to for 20 years couldn't post an Instagram story.
But I gotta tell you, man, nothing's darker than that shit. Like 7 weeks of radiation 5 days a week, and I saw people fucking dying in the hallway, legit. There were people that didn't make it that I fucking talk to every day.
Yep. Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's suffering. Like, if I can get through this and I can walk out of here and I get to ring this bell and like go home.
Yeah. And you did.
Anything else is fucking lucky. You're lucky to suffer through other bullshit.
That's right.
But I did, like, one time I looked over at him and I was like, oh, that's so weird. Like, you're not my husband anymore. And for 20 years, you've been calling somebody this title and this being and this light. And then just like one day you decide no more. And you're like, your brain can't.
No.
You can't even understand the change. It's so severe. By the way, like, what a relief to finally be like, yeah, I started smoking again because I'm getting a fucking divorce.
Yeah, you're allowed. And I'm allowed because I'm in your vicinity.
That's
So,
right.
Can I
Oh, sorry,
use your
yeah.
lighter there?
Well, I want to tell you guys people have been really supportive, and that's really great. And they're like, you should just take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I wake up, I take Prozac. I eat one Domino's thin crust pizza a day, a supreme one. I drink
Perfect.
wine, and then I rip tarts. That's my diet.
Perfect.
But I've lost like 10 pounds. It's been really good.
Grief, that's grief Zempic.
Shout out Duncan Trussell, genuinely. Because that's a man being a proper friend. He's not doing the sad head tilt thing. He's not treating her like she's made of glass. He's sitting in the chair her husband should be sitting in. And he's getting a laugh out of her on the worst week of her year. That's what it looks like when somebody actually shows up. And look at her. She beat cancer. She's going through a divorce in public. She's eating a Domino's Supreme every day and smoking for the first time in 20 years, and she can still land a joke about it. It's been really good grief. She's fine. She's going to be fine. That's the most reassuring part of this whole thing. Now we're going to go through the receipts. Because everything you're about to watch was filmed before any of this. And every single clip was defended at the time by people in the comments telling you that you don't understand comedy. Watch how much of it was comedy.
Christina died. What would your move be?
What would my move be?
Like,
do you
what
mean?
would you do?
Enjoy my life? I don't know. Like,
With your new wife, your second wife?
that'd be awesome. Yeah. But I want you to be friends with her. I don't want it to be like weird. You got to be cool with her.
Do you feel any pangs of jealousy when I say that stuff?
No.
Yeah. It's too bad.
No. I feel such a bond already. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ever since I met you a few minutes ago, I was like,
That's so hot.
it is. Hey, what's up? You're here.
Well, yeah, I told you I was going to be a little bit late. But
I didn't think you were coming
I
in.
know we had a guest.
Oh,
Hi.
actually, she's.
Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm new Christina.
Oh.
Oh my God, you guys have the same name. That's crazy. Well, just because we didn't know if you were going to be here today. So,
Okay.
so
Maybe.
I thought that maybe you I didn't know if you were going to be here. So I'm so glad you're here.
I'm here now.
Okay.
It's cool. I'm sorry. This is all very fascinating, but why is this Christina still here? Like I thought new Christine was gonna
Yeah,
Oh,
me
yeah.
too.
I
do
don't
too.
understand why this is happening.
The boys.
They just put me in here and put me to work, and I'm so happy to be here, though.
Okay, let's do this one slowly, because this is the single worst thing in the video, and I want it on the record properly. If Christina died, what would your move be? Enjoy my life? I don't know. That's the answer. That's what came out of him. Not a beat of hesitation, not a flinch, not a mate don't. Enjoy my life. And then he goes on to clarify, because apparently it needed clarifying, that there'd be some tears, sure, but they're not skipping a podcast that week. We got things to do. The wife dies, and the content schedule holds. That's the man. That's the whole man, right there, in one sentence. And then the new Christina thing. Less than a month after his wife told their audience she had breast cancer, Tom Segura brought a corn star into the studio, sat her in Christina's chair, and did a bit where she was the replacement wife. He opens it with a little warm wishes bit. We certainly send her our warmest wishes, and then immediately introduces her replacement. And he titled that episode, Replacing Christina. He titled it that. That's not me editorializing. That's the file name. And then, when the actual Christina walks in, the one with the cancer, he asks whether the new one should sit on his lap. Now, I already know what the comments are going to say, because I've been reading these comments for years. It was a bit. She was in on it. She's a comic. She agreed to it. Sure, fine, she's a professional and she played it out. But watch her face at the end of it. Watch the exact moment where she stops performing. Why is this Christina still here? That is not a punchline. That's a woman 1 month out from a cancer diagnosis, standing in her own studio, realizing the joke has a rehearsal quality to it. You guys are both married. You're married to me. Do you know that? She's asking her husband if he remembers he's married to her. On the podcast they own, in front of the staff. And everyone laughed because it was a bit. It was not a bit. It was a dress rehearsal, and she was made to stand there and watch it.
You tour
like a maniac.
I know.
Okay, you have 2 kids. How old?
Yep.
6 and 4.
This is like almost like abusive, right? How much he tours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Is that an issue?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You talk about it?
Oh, on air on this show, no, but in private, yeah. It's horrible. It's terrible.
Why don't you talk about it on there?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 and 6.
You like your life, Christina?
Back to my your resentment.
Yeah, but here's
why did you hate me?
I slept till, let's say, 4:45. Did another run. House is alive. Kids are up. You know, we have breakfast on the table.
Kids are up at what time now? Like,
yeah, they probably got up
5?
around 5, 7:30. Everyone's like, "Where's mom?" I'm like, "I don't know if she's on drugs, but she's not up." And then another hour goes by. I'm like, "This is fucking ridiculous." So
may I explain myself? I'm so curious as to what is your disdain for my choice of what I do on my vacation.
it's not acceptable. What you did was unacceptable.
If I want to rest, I can't rest.
I want to rest. Get out of here.
I don't want to wake up with my kids on vacation. I do it all the time. I'm always the one that wakes up with those. I don't want to do it on
All
my
right.
vacation.
Well, then now we got it clear. That's the trade-off.
What are you gonna do with it? I'm gonna have tinier now. You've only ever had me with gigantic state droopers.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been hanger steak.
It's going to be a whole new experience. And also, we didn't talk about that. I've been practicing my.
Where you pretend to be sad if I die. Do like, oh, your wife is dead.
What? No. Got to rock and roll.
You would do that if I were like in the hospital and they're like, oh, she just stopped breathing. You're like, she was fine a minute ago. Just like.
No. Then I go like this. And then I look at the back and then I go like that. Wink.
Right, quick credit where it's due. The impressions are good. He's genuinely funny at that. Weird bloke, but he can do a voice. Now back to the part where a guest sat on their podcast and used the word abusive about how much Tom tours, and Christina just went, yeah, no deflection. No, come on, that's a bit much. Yeah. It's horrible, it's terrible. And then she clarifies, they don't talk about it on the show, only in private, which means the audience just got let in on a real fight by accident. And Tom's response, his actual response, live on the podcast, to being told his touring schedule is borderline abusive to his own children, is, you like your life, Christina? You like your life, there it is. That's the receipt. That's the whole marriage in 4 words. Not, you're right, I should be home more. Not even a joke. Just a reminder of who pays for it. Enjoy the house, enjoy the studio, enjoy the money. Don't ask where I am. And I want to bring in something the comedian Ben Avery said about this, because he put it better than I ever could. He could have toured an amount where he made like 10 million a year instead of, 80 million. I've never heard anybody growing up who was like, I hate my dad because he didn't make 80 million in a year. Right? No child in the history of therapy has ever said that. No kid has ever sat in a room and gone, you know what ruined me? Dad only cleared 20. It has never happened. It will never happen. Tom Segura chose the 80, repeatedly, for years, while his wife had cancer and his kids were 4 and 6. And the vacation clip, she's asking to sleep in, on holiday. That's the ask. She's the one who's up with the kids every single day, and she'd like one lie-in, and he calls it unacceptable and tells her to get out of here. The man who is away for 2 years straight is delivering a lecture about who's pulling their weight in the mornings. Diabolical.
And it's totally different for her than for you. Once you understand those, you can go by the numbers. You go, okay, she needs affection, conversation, open and honesty. There, she's nodding,
So much affection. I'm very affectionate.
But he needs
Sandwiches, blowjobs, check. Pets, scratches.
Not in that order, right? Not in that. So,
and then the third element?
And the third element, shared sense of humor.
100%.
But that happens pretty much
immediately.
Yeah. And you just need to sustain it, but it happens immediately. So those 2 first ones, complementary opposites and understanding the needs of the other person, would solve 90% of the problems.
Wow. I feel like if I show that to my potential second wife, it's a great, you know what I mean? It's a great fit, like it's a great teaching tool. And I could be like, see how this works? My second wife's going to be the shit.
Damn. Isn't that cold as ice? Burn. Yeah. Such a bitch.
Yep. She's going to be like 22, pretty stupid.
Pretty dumb.
Yep.
Don't give me
not
no
a lot
static.
of thoughts, not a lot of opinions. She's just like, I made a steak for you.
She deaf too.
She's
like, you want a back rub?
yeah. I'll be like, oh, thanks, yeah.
Just get a robot. Get the cyborg. No, just get an Oculus. Just have a VR girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Would you want that?
Sure.
You don't have to talk.
I think you have to talk.
Oh. Wow.
Right, so a professional sits down on their podcast and explains in plain English that understanding the needs of the other person solves 90% of relationship problems. Tom's takeaway from that? Not, I should try that. His takeaway is that it'll be a great teaching tool for his second wife. The man is being handed the actual solution to his actual marriage, lived by an expert, in front of his actual wife, and he immediately files it under useful for the next one. And Christina's line, "Isn't that cold as ice, babe?" She says it laughing, because what else are you going to do? But that's not a punchline. That's a woman marking the spot. Then the next guest doesn't even know they're married. Think about that. They've done 13, 14 years of a podcast built entirely on being a married couple. Their whole brand is the marriage. And a guest sits down across from them and has to ask, "You guys are married?" "Yeah, mate, for now." And what does Tom do with that opening? He goes straight to it. "My second wife is going to be the shit." 22. Pretty stupid, pretty dumb. Doesn't give him a lot of opinions. That's his stated preference. Out loud, next to his wife, a woman young enough to have no opinions. And once again, everybody laughed, because it's a bit, and you don't understand comedy. I understand comedy fine, mate. I understand that a man described his ideal replacement wife in front of his current one in detail, more than once, for 6 years running, and then got a divorce. At some point, the bit stops being a bit and starts being a mission statement.
With a pacifier, you're 28.
Okay.
That's how old she is, right? And
yeah,
then,
of course. That's your next wife.
By the way, she's not really doing it for me. But
You don't like brunettes.
no, I'm just saying that this particular look is like, it doesn't,
It's not your deal.
it's not doing it.
She's not a mentally ill blonde. Like
Put
you
in
like.
2020 supermodels.
Okay.
Let's see. I just want to see what's out there, you know? All right, far left right there. You can put 2 pacifiers in her mouth. Who's that?
Okay, babe.
Who is that? What's her name? Click, click, click.
Okay. Can we go? Can
What's
we
her
move
name?
on?
That TMZ article dropping was like an international dick alert, and I was flooded with like every dick.
Like
from
an Amber
around.
Alert for dicks.
Pajitsky single. And, you know, I have to say it is flattering. Yeah, no, I'm not fucking there yet.
It's
but
got to be a jungle of dicks in your DMs.
I did know that Bobby Lee liked me because I'll tell you a little story about he and I like a million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The very first time I ever did stand-up was in the Belly Room at the Comedy Store. And I was so fucking nervous. You know that first set where you're like, I'm going to die. Today's the day I'm going to die.
Yep.
And I was taking shits. Like I had so many diarrhea shits. Like
Yeah.
that whole day, you just shit all day to your first
Yep.
set. So I was sitting on the couch in the green room, and in comes Bobby Lee, and he sits down next to me, and he starts like trying to chat me up.
Oh wow.
You know, he's like, "Oh hey, what's up? You know," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry." I had to tell him like, "I'm so nervous. I have to go take a shit right now." And he was like, "That's okay." Like he was so sweet.
Yeah.
So I do have a soft spot for Bobby Lee, but let's see the whole context.
Yeah, let's
because
check it out.
I want to know how strong of an offer this really is.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When a woman feeds you, she likes you.
That's true.
Or in my case, if I feed you, I love you.
Yeah.
Now, I was very upset because, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
you
remember
don't
one
feed.
time I went out with a girl one time. I'd met her at something. And then she was like, "You should come over for lunch." And she made a fucking feast.
She wanted you to wife her up.
She did. No, she was pretty. We just, I don't know. I was young, you know? I was fucking young.
Not too young for me, bitch. Don't forget, I started kissing on you when you were just 23. I snapped you up quick. Young Tom Segura.
Okay. All right.
I just want to see what's out there, you know? That's a married man in his own studio, having his own employees pull up photographs of models for him to browse, while his wife sits 18 inches away. And her response is the saddest 3 words in this entire video. "Please, move on." That's all she's got left at that point. She's not even fighting it anymore. She's just asking him to change the subject on their own show. And then compare that to the last clip. She's out, she's free. TMZ drops the article, and her inbox turns into, her words, not mine, an international dick alert. and she's laughing about it with Duncan and telling a 20-year-old story about being so nervous before her first ever set that she was in the green room with the shits, and Bobby Lee sat down next to her and was lovely about it. That's a woman with a life. That's a woman with friends. That is going to be absolutely fine. So let's land this. For 6 years, Tom Segura told the same joke. The second wife, the 22-year-old with no opinions, the replacement in the chair, what he'd do if she died, enjoy my life. The practice run at looking sad at her funeral, the models on the monitor, the pay-per-view divorce that Jimmy Carr called, and Tom responded to with, he's so smart, let him talk. And every single time for 6 years, the fans told you the same thing. It's a bit. You casuals don't get it. Well, here's where we are. She's announced the divorce alone, on their podcast, crying, apologizing for crying, telling the audience to be nice to him, and he still hasn't said one word. Not one, not a statement, not a story. Radio silence from a man who will happily post a photo of a watch. So no, it was never a bit. It was a man telling you exactly who he was every week for 6 years, into a microphone, in front of a live audience and a camera crew and his own wife. And everybody clapped. Catch you in the next one.